Hello, everyone. This is Linda McDaniel, founder of the Association for Creative Business Writing and Writing Coach and trainer for VAClassroom.com. Welcome to our first session in the Writing Specialist Training Program. It's great to have you in the program with us, and this next month ahead is going to be an exciting journey, so we're glad you're along with us. Now, our first module is Kickstart Your Writing for More Profits and Prestige. If you're looking for ways to build your confidence and write more powerfully so that you get even better results, you're going to love this webinar. It's designed to help you take your writing and your career to the next level. Today, our writing is often the only way people know us, and I want them to know you as the sharp professional you are. Words are your wardrobe at work. Now think about it. How many people do you write to who you never meet? They know you only by your writing and your words. Well, today we're going to make sure they get the best impression of you so that you can earn more revenues and respect. You know, about 7 years ago when I began to teach and coach writing, I was surprised by how many students told me without a trace of guilt that they deleted anything that didn't grab them or they didn't like the looks of. Like it or not, that's how people today view your writing and you. So again, let's make sure they get the best impression of you. So here's what you'll take away from this webinar. I'll run through this quickly, and then, of course, we'll go into detail on each point. Overcome any lingering fear and dread of writing. This is more than one step or even two. Everything in this webinar, and in fact, the entire Writing Specialist Training Program, is designed to help you build your confidence and jumpstart your writing so you stop that energy-draining procrastination and dread. And then we're going to talk about planning and organizing to keep your readers reading so that you get them to respond the way you want. And then, of course, start fast and build your momentum. This is so important. If you can overcome procrastination, and you know, that's something that just about everyone experiences, you will save so much time and get much better results. And to that end, I'm going to show you 5 of my favorite techniques that will double your writing speed, starting today. And when you tap into your creativity, you will naturally build your confidence because you're going to discover you have so many innovative ideas, some you don't even know you have, and I'm going to show you how to access them. And finally, who couldn't use a little more free time? Seriously, I'll show you scientifically proven reasons for not being a slave driver to yourself, for taking breaks to increase your creativity and improve your writing. I love sharing this information, which ties into this question I hear over and over, and that is, why didn't we learn all this writing process in school? And, you know, I'm not sure why. It may be changing now, but a lot of my clients and students tell me they still aren't learning the writing process. Now, what I mean by this is learning how to write and the step-by-step method to writing successful articles, blogs, books, you name it. This may surprise you, but the writing process is not, you know, just get a good start and don't let up till you're done. No, that's not going to get you the finished piece with polish and pizzazz. The way we're taught writing, to me, it's like we just get a lot of information about grammar and punctuation, a little bit about structure. To me, that's like teaching a carpenter all about hammers, nails, lumber, but not how to build a house that won't fall down. Well, today I'm going to show you a better way to write. You'll learn everything you need so that everything you write stands up and stands out. Now, one way to look at the writing process is it's like a road trip. It's a journey, not just a destination. Now, you've probably heard that about life before, and it relates to writing as much as to life. Think about it. When you take a road trip, you need to plan, organize. You need a map to know where you're going, have a destination. And most of us, when we take a road trip, we take breaks and we talk to passengers in the car, and then we arrive at our destination. Now, let's look at that from the writing perspective. Well, we need to research and interview, and boy, do we need a GPS to keep us organized and on the right track. And using a map, or in the equivalent in the writing world, is an outline. We need to have goals and focus so that we know our destination, we get to our destination. And then again, I want to show you how taking breaks refreshes your mind and your creativity. And then here's maybe the most important thing I want you to think about, is think about your readers as similar to passengers in the car with you. And I want you to write to them as though they're passengers in the car, not these strangers that you just kind of, maybe you write sort of cold or what we used to call businesslike, in a kind of old-fashioned way that's kind of stiff and not warm and engaging. So if you think of your readers like passengers in the car with you, you're going to engage them more. And then you'll arrive at your destination, which is the results you want from your writing. So now here's a little bit more about planning. I don't know exactly who did this research, but as a longtime professional writer, this rings true for me. These percentages may surprise you. A lot of people say, what? Only 20% writing and 50% time planning and 30% editing. Now, personally, mine's more like 40% planning and 40% editing, but still only 20% writing. And either way, you get a better idea of the importance of planning and editing. So let's take a little closer look at planning. When you plan your piece, and just to be clear, I'm talking about important content like blogs and articles, books, proposals, reports. I'm not talking about a quick email. Of course, you're not going to sit down and do a major planning session on that. But for those more important documents and content, think about these issues ahead of time. It won't take you long. It looks like a long list, but it won't take you long. I want you to get clear on who's your audience, and then your focus and purpose for writing this, and what do you want to accomplish? Do you want them to write you back? Do you want them to learn something? Do you want them to change the way they're doing things? Now that's all going to affect your tone, and tone is so important because we need to strike the right tone to get the results we want. I don't know about you, but I've had people in offices or whatever write me something where I felt like they were kind of lecturing me. And that didn't get as good a results if they had been more conversational. And I mean professional conversational. Not anything kind of slangish or anything, but a more professional conversation. And then you need to really check in with yourself about how much information do you already have, like you've done some interviews and some research, and then what more do you need to do? Because not having the materials you need can actually slow down your writing project and make you procrastinate or whatever. So this is a good planning checklist here. And then I want you to think about, for your GPS, again, that kind of analogy with the road trip, your GPS is what, as journalists, we affectionately call the 6 wise men. That's who, what, where, why, when, how. Now, they don't all always relate to what you're writing, but they are a dandy checklist at the beginning and then a safety net at the end, because you Check these things at the beginning to see what and who and when, and then when you're all done, you use that to make sure you did put everything in. Because, not that long ago, I got a memo from a pretty prestigious association about an event they were holding, and it didn't include when. And so they had to send back another email that said, oops, and who needs that? It's like another email. It's kind of embarrassing. So this is a good safety checklist for you. So now let's take a closer look at what I mean. Who? Well, obviously you want to know who you're writing. Client, boss, colleague, friend. All of those will have a different purpose, a different tone. And who are you writing about? Maybe you're writing an article about someone. And then what? Well, gosh, good news is sure going to be different from bad news, or an article is going to be different from a report or a proposal. And think about, what are your readers' concerns? Because, the number one thing every reader is thinking is, what's in it for me? That's that WIFM. What's in it for me? And so what do you want to accomplish? And how can you address your readers' concerns? And then where, of course, is what location, what area, or where are you publishing this? And what is your outreach? Because, you'll write something different with a local audience maybe than a national audience. And then why? What's your purpose? Are you convincing, promoting, apologizing? And why do your readers need to respond? Again, when, and when is your deadline, and how will you help your readers? How will you reach them? Email's different from Facebook. Hard copy's different from blog. And how should your readers respond? So you can see this is a powerful checklist at the beginning to get you on track, and at the end to make sure you included everything. Alrighty, so now let's get into organizing, because that really is your road to success. And this is the number one pet peeve of people, when people don't get to the point quickly, no matter what they're writing, or in this case what they're reading. So you need to get to the point quickly and repeat it at the end. And this reminds me of the speech maker's motto. It's tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. And this works beautifully for writers too, and it makes your message stick even better. Now, as I mentioned, a lot of people are deleting emails and blogs and articles. They just move on. And so you want to make sure that your lead paragraph is packed with benefits to the readers, why they should read on, or maybe it's creatively engaging with a question or some kind of hook. And we're going to get into that. And so you want to make sure that you get to the point quickly and that it engages your readers. So let's take a look at this example. I'm going to share with you some examples in red that I don't think are very good, and then I'm going to suggest that you pause the webinar and work on them for a little bit, and then I'll give you what my take on a better answer is. And I'd like to point out that just because I fix it one way doesn't mean that's the only way. Editing could be done in 10, 20 different ways, but I'll show you one way and explain why I did it that way. Now, on this one, I'd really like you to think about that point about get to the point quickly. And I want you to look at this, and I'm going to give you a hint. Obviously, I don't think this person got to the point quickly. And I think I'd like you to, at some point, if you want to do it now, pause the webinar. I'd like you to go in and find out where the first sentence, getting to the point quickly, what would be the first sentence? and then maybe rework some of this. It's kind of wordy, and it's not very well written. So I'm going to suggest you pause, and then now I'm going to move on to my explanation of the correct answer. And do you see how this part about we're seeking funding for a lead scientist was actually at the very end? We're proposing to conduct research. Funding for a lead scientist will allow us. That was at the very end, and that is the getting to the point quickly. And then I took out some of that extra stuff that you can see when you toggle back and forth. But this is a much better, much more succinct. A reader's going to go into this and say, oh, okay, I know exactly what this person is talking about, instead of up here where it's, oh, it's this project we're proposing, developed in Canada, blah, blah, blah. No, it's what this paragraph is about is seeking funding. So that's what I mean by get to the point quickly. Now, here's another one. Where is the point? Where is what we call the topic sentence? That refers to the first sentence in a paragraph that lets you know what the point is. So if you want to pause now before I show the correct answer. Okay. Now this one was short enough that I could show you the before in red and the after in black. And actually, the second sentence is now the first one because that is the topic sentence. That is what we need for getting to the point quickly. And then everything else makes perfect sense. Ah, the training program makes sense because they're in the middle of consolidation. So it's now everything hangs off of that topic sentence and it makes sense. But the way it was first written, lots of reader mystification there. Alrighty, now let's go to the second tenet of good organizing, and that's called the rule of one. Now, when you think of your topic, think of it as an umbrella with subtopics under it. So you have one idea per sentence, one idea per paragraph, and one main topic per article, blog, report, or email. Any more than that in a blog, let's say, and you're going to get reader mystification. Readers are going to be confused. And here's an adage I've adapted from sales, and that is, confused readers don't buy or buy in. And so that's why we want to have it just crystal clear for our readers and one main topic. So again, think of it as an umbrella with subtopics under it. They need to be related to the overall topic, otherwise they don't belong in that paragraph or the document. I want you, in that case, to write a different one for topics that don't relate to the one you're working on. And just too many topics in one document are going to confuse your readers. So keep it simple with one main topic per sentence, paragraph, article, blog, whatever you're writing. So now let's take a closer look at this. Now here is a before. Again, this is the red one. This is a before example. And if you'd like to pause this in just a second, what I want you to look for is the rule of one is not happening here. There's some extraneous information that should go in another paragraph. So just pause the webinar, and now I'm going to show you the answer here. And it's that sentence. We also learned that our customer liked the lower steps on all our buses. That doesn't belong there. As for the media, I mean, it's just all over the place. So think about it. We have a good topic sentence. We did get to the point quickly. We did a review of our new bus meters. That's fine. Overall, we had likes and dislikes of the new bus meters. We really liked their usefulness. However, we found them cumbersome. As a result, unsuited. Do you see how that just flows beautifully? And that clunker in there about the steps, that is breaking the rule of one. So I think this is a real good illustration of what I'm talking about. And I have to say that a lot of my students will tell me they'd never heard this before. This is what I mean about the writing process not really being explained to us. And we're kind of on our own once we learn grammar and punctuation. And this is just a great rule. So both of these organizing tools.